If you're living with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, you probably know how exhausting it can be to keep your blood sugar under control. You follow the doctor's advice, you avoid sugar. Maybe you even take medications, but the numbers on the glucometer still go up and down like a roller coaster. And after a certain age, that roller coaster doesn't just affect your energy, it hits your memory, your vision, your sleep, and even your mood. But what if I told you that long before blood sugar monitors existed, ancient cultures had already found natural ways to manage these same symptoms? All around the world, long before pharmacies and prescriptions, people relied on the healing power of plants. In India, tiny seeds were soaked overnight and consumed at dawn like a sacred ritual. In Central America, grandmothers boiled cactus leaves and bitter roots into powerful teas. In Africa, certain fruits were never eaten for taste, but for what they did after a meal. They calmed the body, reduced the sugar rush, and helped with digestion. These weren't random guesses. Over generations, communities passed down what worked. And now, modern science is starting to confirm what our ancestors always knew. The real tragedy? Somewhere along the way, we stopped listening. Convenience became king. The supermarkets filled with packaged foods. We traded home-brewed remedies for colorful pills. And the knowledge that once flowed from grandparents to grandchildren began to fade. Many older Americans today grew up with herbal teas and homemade tonics, but those traditions were slowly replaced by fast food and processed snacks. The connection between nature and healing got lost in the noise of modern life. And with it, some powerful tools for managing diabetes naturally. But that knowledge isn't gone. It's still there, waiting in the leaves, the seeds, the roots, waiting in your kitchen spice rack or backyard garden. Today, researchers are finally studying these ancient ingredients with modern tools, and the results are astonishing. Some of these natural remedies help the body use insulin more efficiently. Others slow the absorption of sugar after meals. And many have antioxidant powers that protect the pancreas and reduce inflammation. These aren't miracle cures. They're small, consistent allies, ones that work with your body over time. In this video, we're going to revisit 7 of the most respected and science-backed traditional remedies for diabetes, ones that people over 60 can easily try at home. They're safe, affordable, and time-tested. And the last one on our list, number 1, might surprise you because it's something most people throw away, never realizing it holds one of the most powerful tools nature offers for blood sugar control. Number 7, cinnamon. Cinnamon isn't just a sweet spice for your oatmeal or holiday desserts. It's one of the most researched natural remedies for blood sugar control. For centuries, cinnamon bark was valued as medicine in both Ayurvedic and Chinese traditions, long before it made its way into American kitchens. What ancient healers may not have known in technical terms, modern scientists now understand. Cinnamon helps improve insulin sensitivity, meaning your body can use sugar more efficiently instead of letting it linger dangerously in your bloodstream. There are 2 main types of cinnamon, Ceylon and Cassia, and both have benefits, but Ceylon is considered the true cinnamon and may be gentler on the liver if taken regularly. Several studies have shown that just half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon a day can lower fasting blood glucose, especially when paired with a healthy diet. It works by mimicking insulin and increasing glucose uptake into the cells, almost like giving your body a helping hand to process sugar more smoothly. And unlike many herbs, cinnamon is easy to add to almost any dish without changing the flavor drastically. Many older adults find that starting their day with a warm cup of cinnamon tea or adding a pinch of ground cinnamon to their coffee or morning smoothie creates not only a comforting ritual, but a subtle shift in how their body handles sugar throughout the day. And because cinnamon is naturally sweet, it can also help reduce cravings for processed sugar, something that often sabotages diabetic diets. In that way, cinnamon doesn't just support blood sugar levels, it also helps change long-term habits. But it's important to be consistent and cautious. Taking large amounts of cinnamon, especially cassia, over long periods may affect liver health due to a compound called coumarin. That's why experts recommend moderate, regular use. No more than 1 teaspoon per day unless directed otherwise by a healthcare provider. Remember, With natural remedies, patience and consistency are more powerful than taking a big dose once and expecting overnight results. In the end, cinnamon represents a perfect example of how something humble, familiar, and inexpensive can quietly support your health in the background. It's not flashy. It doesn't promise miracles. But over time, with daily use, this ancient spice may become one of your most dependable allies in the journey of blood sugar control. Number 6. Bittermelon. Bittermelon, also known as bitter gourd or Mamortica carrantia, may not win any popularity contests in American kitchens, but hold a place of honor in traditional medicine from Asia to the Caribbean. Its name doesn't lie. This vegetable is intensely bitter, with a sharp taste that can make even the most adventurous eater pause. But in countries like India and China, where diabetes has been managed naturally for centuries, bittermelon is seen not as food, but as medicine. Elders in rural villages have long boiled it into teas, blended it raw into morning tonics, or added it to stews with the firm belief that it keeps sugar sickness at bay. What seemed like folklore is now backed by modern science. Bittermelon contains plant-based compounds that mimic insulin and help the body regulate glucose more efficiently. Researchers have isolated several bioactive ingredients in bittermelon that explain its powerful effects. Compounds like charantin, vicine, and polypeptide P are known to reduce blood sugar by increasing glucose uptake into the cells, reducing sugar production in the liver, and even stimulating the pancreas to release more insulin. These mechanisms are strikingly similar to how some diabetes medications work, except bittermelon does it naturally. In a clinical trial published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology, participants who took bittermelon daily experienced measurable reductions in both fasting glucose and postprandial spikes. For older adults looking for natural alternatives or supplements to existing treatment, this humble fruit may offer significant support without the cost or side effects of pharmaceutical drugs. In traditional households, bittermelon is often consumed in its whole form, either cooked or juiced. Though supplements exist, many elders believe in taking it the way their ancestors did, fresh, bitter, and raw. It's common to see older men and women in India slicing it thin, sautéing it with onions and spices, or steeping it like tea first thing in the morning. The bitterness, they say, wakes up the blood, and there may be wisdom in that. Western diets often shy away from bitter flavors, favoring sweet and salty instead. But bitter foods stimulate digestion, regulate hunger, and support the liver. Over time, some people even report that their cravings for sugar decline when bittermelon becomes part of their regular meals. Of course, like any natural remedy, bittermelon should be used wisely. Because it can significantly lower blood sugar, people who are already on diabetes medications need to monitor their levels carefully to avoid hypoglycemia. It's also not recommended for pregnant women due to its uterine-stimulating effects. But for most adults over 60 who are exploring ways to improve metabolic health naturally, bittermelon offers a unique option. It may not replace medications completely, but it can become a powerful teammate, especially when paired with better food choices and consistent habits. There's a deeper lesson in this wrinkled, green fruit. Bittermelon teaches us that healing doesn't always come in sweet packages. Sometimes the body needs to be challenged in order to find balance again. And as uncomfortable as it might be at first, embracing the bitter, both in food and in life, can bring unexpected peace. After all, many elders say that bitterness sharpens the senses. Maybe that's true for health too. In a world full of artificial sweetness, bittermelon brings us back to something real, raw, and deeply human. Number 5. Aloe vera juice. Most people know aloe vera as the cool, green gel used for sunburns or skin irritation. You'll find it in lotions, shampoos, and even facial masks. But hidden beneath its reputation as a cosmetic miracle lies a lesser-known secret. Aloe vera juice, when taken internally, can support blood sugar control in people with type 2 diabetes. This isn't just a folktale from tropical cultures. Modern research has begun to confirm what traditional healers in Egypt, Mexico, and India have long believed. That aloe is more than skin deep. It's a plant with powerful effects on metabolic health. Inside the thick, clear gel of aloe vera leaves are over 75 active compounds, including vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and enzymes. But when it comes to diabetes, the magic lies in a group of phytosterols and polysaccharides that help regulate glucose levels. In several studies, participants who consumed aloe vera juice regularly saw improvements in fasting blood sugar, HbA1c, a long-term measure of blood sugar, and even triglyceride levels. One clinical review from 2016 highlighted aloe's ability to improve insulin sensitivity and reduce chronic inflammation, two root issues in type 2 diabetes. And for older adults, this gentle plant can be especially helpful, as it supports not only sugar balance, but digestion and liver health as well. In traditional use, aloe vera is often harvested fresh. The inner gel is scooped out, blended with water or fruit juice, and taken first thing in the morning. Some prefer store-bought aloe juice, but it's important to choose a brand that is pure, organic, and free from added sugars or artificial preservatives. The taste can be slightly bitter or earthy, but far milder than Bittermelon, making it easier for many seniors to incorporate into daily routines. Some even mix it with a splash of lemon or cucumber for extra flavor and detox support. The key, as always, is consistency, small amounts taken daily over weeks or months, not large doses all at once. That said, aloe vera juice must be taken with care. The latex portion of the plant, found just beneath the green skin, can have strong laxative effects and may irritate the digestive system if not removed properly. That's why it's crucial to use only the inner clear gel or buy juice that specifically states it is free from aloe latex. Also, aloe can interact with certain medications, especially diuretics or blood sugar-lowering drugs, so anyone starting it should speak to their doctor and monitor their glucose closely. Used correctly, however, aloe vera is one of the safest and most accessible remedies nature provides. Aloe vera reminds us that healing doesn't always have to be dramatic. Sometimes it's gentle, cooling, quiet. Like water, it flows through the body, calming the systems that have been overworked for too long. For seniors living with the daily challenges of diabetes, aloe vera juice offers not only a path to better numbers, but also a sense of renewal from the inside out. It may not burn with intensity like other remedies, but in its softness lies its strength. Number 4. Dandelion root. To most people, dandelions are just stubborn weeds that pop up on the lawn every spring. But in traditional medicine, especially among Native American, Chinese, and European healing traditions, dandelion root has long been seen as a powerful ally for blood, liver, and metabolic health. And now, modern science is catching up to the wisdom of the past. For people living with type 2 diabetes, dandelion root offers a surprising range of benefits, including blood sugar regulation, improved digestion, and liver detoxification, all of which play crucial roles in how the body processes glucose. The roots of the dandelion plant are packed with inulin, a type of prebiotic fiber that helps slow the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. This alone can help prevent the blood sugar spikes that so often follow meals. But that's just the beginning. Dandelion root also contains antioxidants like terexasterol and chicoic acid, which help reduce inflammation in the pancreas and support insulin production. In lab studies and small human trials, dandelion extracts have been shown to lower fasting blood sugar and improve insulin sensitivity. And because it's a gentle diuretic, dandelion also helps the kidneys flush out excess sugar through urine, a subtle but important mechanism for people with high glucose levels. Traditionally, dandelion root is roasted and brewed as a tea, which has a rich, earthy flavor somewhat similar to coffee, but without the caffeine. It's a ritual in many cultures to start the day with a warm cup, especially in spring when fresh roots are harvested. Others dry the roots and grind them into a powder to add to smoothies or herbal blends. Some prefer tinctures or capsules for convenience. But many herbalists believe that the closer you get to the whole plant, the more balanced and effective the healing. For older adults who remember picking greens or using herbal teas in childhood, dandelion may awaken a sense of return to simpler, wiser times. As with any natural remedy, there are precautions. Dandelion can interact with diuretics, lithium, and medications that affect liver function. Those with ragweed allergies may also react to dandelion, as they belong to the same plant family. However, for the majority of adults, especially those seeking mild, supportive ways to help control blood sugar, dandelion root is considered safe, gentle, and remarkably effective when used regularly over time. It works best not as a one-time fix, but as a consistent addition to your daily rhythm. There's something poetic about the idea of a weed turning into a healer. Dandelion root teaches us that sometimes the answers we're looking for are growing right under our feet, unwanted, overlooked, and wildly powerful. In a world of diabetes care, it serves as a quiet reminder that nature has always been there, offering support through the most ordinary things. The next time you see a yellow flower sprouting in the grass, you might see more than just a weed. You might see the beginning of healing. Number 3. Fenugreek Seeds. Fenugreek seeds may be small, but in the world of ancient remedies for diabetes, they are giants. Used for thousands of years in Ayurvedic and Middle Eastern medicine, these golden brown seeds are now gaining recognition in the West for their powerful effects on blood sugar regulation. At first glance, they might look like just another spice in the pantry. But behind their earthy aroma and slightly bitter taste lies a unique combination of soluble fiber and plant compounds that can significantly benefit those living with type 2 diabetes. The magic of fenugreek comes from its high content of galactomannan, a type of soluble fiber that slows down carbohydrate digestion and sugar absorption in the gut. This means fewer glucose spikes after meals, something every diabetic struggles to manage. In addition to that, fenugreek seeds contain amino acids like 4-hydroxysoleucine, which stimulate insulin secretion. Several studies have shown that regular intake of fenugreek, between 5 to 15 grams daily, can lead to lower fasting glucose levels and improved HbA1c scores. These aren't just lab results. They're real benefits felt by people using the seeds day after day in simple, accessible ways. Traditionally, fenugreek is soaked overnight in warm water and consumed first thing in the morning. This softens the seeds and enhances their medicinal properties. Some prefer to grind the seeds into a powder and add it to yogurt, soups, or herbal teas. The flavor can be strong, almost maple-like, but many older adults report developing a taste for it once they start feeling the benefits. In countries like India, it's common to find grandmothers who never miss their morning fenugreek water, believing it keeps the sugar calm. And for good reason. These seeds work slowly but steadily, helping the body regain its balance over time. Of course, consistency is key. Fenugreek isn't a quick fix, it's a long-term ally. And like other potent plants, it must be used with awareness. In large doses, it may cause gastrointestinal discomfort like bloating or gas, and it may interact with medication for diabetes or blood thinning. But at moderate levels, especially when introduced gradually, fenugreek is safe for most adults. Those who are new to it may benefit from starting with half a teaspoon per day and increasing as tolerated. And as always, anyone on medication should monitor their sugar levels and consult with a healthcare provider before making major changes. Fenugreek seeds remind us that healing doesn't have to come from exotic superfoods or expensive supplements. Sometimes, it's the humble, overlooked ingredients, passed down quietly from one generation to the next, that carry the deepest power. They sit in kitchen cabinets, waiting patiently to be rediscovered. And when they are, they don't just change your numbers. They change your rhythm, your habits, your connection to the body. In that way, fenugreek isn't just a remedy. It's a return. Number 2, apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar, or ACV as many call it today, might seem like a trendy health fad, but its roots run deep in both history and tradition. From ancient Egypt to 19th century American homesteads, vinegar made from fermented apples has been used for everything from preserving food to treating infections. But in recent decades, it has gained serious attention for one specific reason: its ability to help regulate blood sugar. For older adults managing type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, apple cider vinegar offers a simple, affordable tool with real scientific backing. What makes ACV effective isn't just its acidity, but the presence of acetic acid, an active compound that can slow the digestion of carbohydrates and improve insulin sensitivity. When taken before or with a meal, ACV helps delay gastric emptying, meaning food and sugar are released into the bloodstream more slowly. This prevents those post-meal blood sugar spikes that so often leave people feeling fatigued, dizzy, or foggy. Several studies, including one published in the Journal of the American Dietetic Association, have shown that taking 1 to 2 tablespoons of ACV diluted in water before meals can significantly reduce glucose levels after eating. For many older adults, adding apple cider vinegar to their routine becomes more than just a remedy. It becomes a ritual. Some drink a teaspoon mixed with warm water and a dash of lemon before breakfast. Others incorporate it into salad dressings, marinades, or herbal tonics. The key is consistency and moderation. Because ACV is acidic, it's important to dilute it and avoid drinking it straight, as it can irritate the throat and erode tooth enamel. Using a straw, rinsing the mouth after, or consuming it with food are all easy ways to protect against these effects while still enjoying the benefits. However, as with all powerful natural substances, apple cider vinegar should be used with awareness. It can interact with medications, especially diuretics and diabetes drugs, and may lead to low potassium levels if consumed in excess. For people taking insulin or other glucose-lowering treatments, it's important to monitor blood sugar closely when introducing ACV. That said, for most adults, especially those looking for low-cost, food-based ways to improve their health, it's an incredibly accessible remedy that fits easily into the rhythm of daily life. Apple cider vinegar teaches us that healing doesn't always require complicated formulas or rare ingredients. Sometimes the answer has been in the pantry all along. With a little patience and regular use, this humble vinegar can help bring the body back into balance. Not with force, but with quiet consistency. For those seeking natural ways to manage diabetes, ACV is like a gentle nudge from the past, reminding us that food is, and always has been, one of our most powerful forms of medicine. Number 1. Okra Water. Few vegetables are as quietly powerful as okra. Known in the American South as lady's fingers, this slender green pod has long been part of traditional diets, from African and Caribbean kitchens to Indian stews and southern gumbos. But beyond its use in cooking, okra hides a medicinal secret that's only recently being rediscovered. Its mucilaginous, gel-like interior has the remarkable ability to lower blood sugar when soaked in water and consumed regularly. Among all the natural remedies for diabetes, okra water has emerged as a favorite for its simplicity, affordability, and gentle effectiveness. The science behind okra water begins with its rich content of soluble fiber and natural compounds like flavonoids, polysaccharides, and antioxidants. When okra is soaked, especially overnight, the pods release a slimy, viscous substance into the water. That gel forms a kind of protective layer in the digestive tract, slowing down the absorption of sugar into the bloodstream. In multiple small-scale studies, participants who drank okra water daily experienced reduced fasting glucose and better post-meal control. Some even showed improvements in lipid profiles and inflammation markers, two major concerns for older adults with type 2 diabetes. Making okra water is as simple as it gets. You take 2 or 3 fresh pods, rinse them, slice off the ends, and either cut them in half or slit them open lengthwise. Place them in a glass of water and let it sit overnight. In the morning, you remove the pods and drink the water, preferably before breakfast. There's no strong flavor, and many older adults describe it as refreshing, mild, and easy to tolerate. Some prefer to blend the entire pod with water and strain it, while others mix it with lemon or cucumber for a cleansing effect. However it's taken, the real key lies in doing it consistently, giving the body time to respond and adapt. Okra water is particularly attractive for seniors because it requires no pills, no complicated preparations, and no special purchases. Okra is widely available in grocery stores and farmers markets across the U.S., especially in southern regions. It's inexpensive, low in calories, and brings additional benefits for gut health, cholesterol, and joint inflammation. But like all remedies, it's not a replacement for medical advice or prescribed medications. Anyone starting Okra Water should monitor their sugar levels and speak to a healthcare provider if they notice dramatic changes or symptoms of low blood sugar. What's most inspiring about Okra Water is what it represents. The idea that health can come from the earth, from the garden, from something so ordinary that we often overlook it. In a world obsessed with high-tech solutions and quick fixes, this green pod offers a quiet, grounded path back to balance. For elders who feel overwhelmed by modern medicine or discouraged by years of struggle, Okra Water offers hope, not as a miracle, but as a daily companion. One glass at a time, it reminds the body that healing is still possible, and that sometimes the most powerful answers are the simplest of all. Managing diabetes later in life often feels like walking a tightrope. Every meal becomes a calculation. Every snack, a source of doubt. And every number on the glucose monitor seems to carry more weight than it should. For many people over 60, this daily routine can be exhausting. Not just physically, but emotionally. It's not just about blood sugar. It's about the fear of complications, the frustration of doing everything right and still seeing no progress, and the quiet grief of losing trust in your own body. But here's the truth. The body never stops listening. Even after years of imbalance, it still responds to kindness, patience, and care, especially when that care comes in the form of real, natural, time-tested nourishment. The 7 remedies we explore today, cinnamon, bittermelon, aloe vera juice, dandelion root, fenugreek seeds, apple cider vinegar, and okra water, are not fads. They are not quick fixes. They are small, humble allies passed down by cultures that observed, experimented, and believed in the healing power of the earth. These plants and seeds didn't need to be marketed. They earned their place through generations of trust. And now, with the help of science, we understand why they work. They don't mask symptoms. They work with the body's natural rhythms, slowing sugar absorption, improving insulin response, reducing inflammation, and nurturing the very systems that have been under stress for far too long. Of course, no one is saying that a spoonful of cinnamon or a glass of okra water will replace your medications overnight. That would be dishonest and dangerous. But what they can offer is a foundation, a way to support your current treatments, to reduce dependency over time, or simply to feel more in control of your own healing. And that matters, because the path of recovery, especially after 60, isn't just about numbers on a chart. It's about energy, clarity, independence. It's about waking up with fewer aches, fewer worries, and more moments of calm. These ancient remedies don't promise miracles, but they offer something almost as powerful: consistency, accessibility, and quiet support day after day. And maybe deeper than all the science and tradition, they offer a change in mindset. A reminder that your health is not just in the hands of a doctor or locked in a pill bottle. That you can participate in your healing with things you grow, brew, or prepare yourself. That you can return to older, wiser ways of living, not as a rejection of modern medicine, but as a reunion with something you've always known deep down. That nature, when respected and used with intention, still wants to help, still wants to guide you back to balance. Not with force, but with gentleness. Not with noise, but with steadiness. If this video gave you new ideas, a sense of curiosity, or even just a breath of hope, then I invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to the channel and become part of this growing circle of people over 60 who believe that healing doesn't end with age. Share this with a friend, a sibling, or a neighbor who might need to hear that it's not too late. Your body remembers how to heal, and your story isn't over, it's evolving. One cup of tea, one seed, one morning ritual at a time, and we'll be right here, turning every page with you.